What up, YouTube, and welcome back to another review here at Thomas Opent, where we're doing Thomas Opent, even when I'm saying that like an English person, like Thomas Opent in Dutch. It's one of my English reviews, and I'm doing this for a very specific reason. First off, I'm an asshole, and every time I do an English review, I say I will do more of them, and I do not. And that makes me a not very nice person. But yeah, second of all, in my last review of one of the beers from Factory Brewing from Finland, I said that I would do one of the reviews in English, one of my reviews in English of one of their beers. Because I figured, if you're sending beer from a different country, because this video is sponsored and made possible by Factory Brewing. I'm supposed to say that because of YouTube rules. Did my part. When somebody from a different country sends me beer, they did, straight from the brewery to the Netherlands, I am going to do one of the reviews in English because I figure it's nice of you guys to hear, my opinions, my thoughts on it in a language that you can understand. They sent 4 beers, and the 2 that I decided to review are the single hop ones. The first one was a Motueka one. This is Reveries of HBC 586. Now, this is a hop that doesn't have a name yet. Maybe it's going to get a name. But I think by now this hop is so well known under this code that I doubt they're going to give it a name because everybody knows HBC 586. Here we go. Reveries of HBC 586. This time, our single hop series showcases HBC 586. I'm not too familiar with this American hop. I've wanted to try it on its own for some time. I get loads of orange ice cream and grapefruit from this one. Some mango and sticky dankness as well. Also, the advertised lychee aroma is pretty strong. Head brewer Jirka Urden. Tell me if I said that right. Jirka Urden. Orden. Artwork by Kennelly Karvinen. Contains barley, oat, wheat. Canned and brewed at Etco Brewing. So I'm guessing this is a contract brewery. And it was canned January 2024. It's now February 2024. It is, in fact, the 18th of February 2024. Meaning this is, give or take, a month old. Which is very, very decent for an IPA. 7.3% in alcohol. That is like skirting the double IPA. Honestly, I've had double IPAs that were labeled as 7.5, even 7% ABV. So you're sort of really dabbling in that double IPA range. But let's be honest, it's more than just the ABV that makes it a IPA or double IPA. I've had triple IPAs coming in at 8.5% ABV. So let's just treat it as a single IPA that might want to be a double IPA. Let's keep it like that, shall we? I'm digging the can art. I didn't really speak about the can art on the previous one, but I like this. This is good. This is nice. It's calming. It's soothing. And yeah, that pours exactly what you would expect a modern IPA to pour like. It is a fucking haze, bro. Beer. Not like that sort of like fruit juice that you get with some of them. This goes more towards like the OG New England style IPAs from the States that we got to know. Maybe slightly murkier, maybe a little bit more hazed, but nothing like some of those haze for days things that you get. But with like that's my washing machine. There's like white and there's white and then there's like neon white. This is like as white as it can get, I think, for a head on a beer, especially in like an IPA range. This has the head of like a good Pilsner, so I like it. I'm so sorry for the extra noise, guys. Let's dive into this. Let's see about the nose on this Reveries of HBC 586. Factory Brewing. I want to thank you guys so much for sending me this. They're very new, actually. They've been around for like a couple of weeks now. I've seen them pop up in some web shops and things. This is pretty new stuff for the Netherlands. This is why they sent several Dutch people, including the other guys at the Dutch Beer Collective, these beers to review and talk about on social media, which I will because I'm so good at talking. It's one of my favorite hobbies, next to drinking beer. And it combines so well, doesn't it? Let's see what this does on the nose. Oh, wow. That's like really danky, piney, very dank, very pine forward. This has been poured like for a minute, for like a hot minute or two, and it's still very piney. It has a definite, like, Factory Brewing, I've talked about this in several reviews over the years, that a lot of IPAs, in my personal opinion, would do quite well with spending a little bit more time in the tanks. So I think that this could have actually laid in my fridge on a good temperature for like at least 4 more weeks to get a little bit more of that intense, like prickly, sharp, danky hoppiness out of the way, that greenness. But yeah, it's incredibly dank. There's a big ton of orange there, big ton of orange juice. Getting lots of citrus. You guys mentioned grapefruit. For me, it's like intense on lime. It's like, it has that sort of, it's not sour. I'm not saying sour, but it has that refreshed sour notes of lime without getting sour, if you know what I mean. Well, at least I haven't tried it yet. Maybe it is sour. I don't know. But very much going into that realm of the rind of citrus. I can see the grapefruit part, definitely the orange, tangerine, lime thing, very citrus forward here. The rest of the notes, I'm not really getting them that much yet, but it is, of course, a beer that needs to develop over time. Yes, it does. Yes, it really does. Most IPAs need a little bit of time to breathe, and air out a bit. This is like straight out of the fridge. This would probably be better if I took it 20 minutes out 20 minutes before the review. I did not. That one's on me. But don't drink your IPAs straight out of the fridge. Trust me, they're going to be so much better if you give them a little bit more temperature. A tropical vibe is emerging, but nothing that really, screams a specific fruit. But it's getting this sort of like tropical vibe, but still maintaining that really citrus danky note that's going on. The danky note is getting a lot less sharp. And it has sort of like a herbaceous woody note to it, really. I like it. Many people who, for Factory Brewing, this will be new. Many of the people that watch my reviews know that I'm not the biggest hop hat, and that's because I'm a bit sad that a lot of those IPAs these days just sort of tend to do the same thing over and over and over again. And this feels a little bit more refreshing. First of all, I like the single hop approach. Also, it doesn't come over as overtly sweet. It doesn't come over as very bitter as well, so it does fall into sort of like the New England style range where the bitterness is more mellow. But I like the fact that the pine, the resiness, the dankness is really speaking here. And that is something I appreciate in my IPAs. Let's just take a sip of this and see if we can find anything else. Factory Brewing, once again, thank you very much. Cheers. So that danky thing is definitely still there, but it's a lot less sharp on the palate than I thought it was going to be. It's actually quite smooth. It's quite refreshing. It still has that sort of herbaceous bitterness in the background, but it's not. It's very mellow in a positive way. It's very mellow. It doesn't have like any aggressive bitterness. There's a subtle bitterness. It's not overtly sweet. There is sort of like a ripe mango, sort of like peach thing going on without getting too intense. Everything is quite drinkable, quite approachable. And in a world where many IPAs are well overdone, I had to do it. I had to do that in a world if you're my age, like 41, approaching 42, you know the movie trailers where every trailer would start with "in a world." So yeah, I had to explain my own joke, and then it's not funny anymore. Here everything is there in terms of flavor, but nothing is too aggressive. Nothing like hit you in the face. And I said this in my last review as well, of the Motueka one. I appreciate that. I appreciate that approachability, that drinkability of any good IPA. So there's still it's slightly creamy. It has a decent mouthfeel. Nothing too big, nothing too bold. Again, very drinkable. Actually, it kind of drinks under 7.3% ABV. Drinks more like between 6 and 6.5% ABV, which is kind of nice because it makes it drinkable, but then again, it also makes it a little bit more dangerous. When I have a 7.3% beer, I want it to drink like a 7.3% ABV beer, not like something that comes across lighter because it's going to become danger juice. So yeah, but the flavor profile, again, very citrusy, very much like the orange tangerine, actually, maybe a little bit more for me. That lime thing is there, and it has like these wafts of mango, peach, papaya, sort of like stone fruit vibe going on. But all, again, like, I like it. I think it's nice. I think it's so nice to get a little bit more like drinkable IPAs instead of all that over the top, way too sweet fruit juice bullshit. Mm. Mm. There was a nice little bitter backhand sleep popping up. Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, it's not reinventing the wheel when it comes to IPAs, but it's just a well brewed, very drinkable IPA. Flavorful, without anything really boldly in your face. These are the kind of, again, if it had, let me put it this way, if it had this impact, but then actually being like 6%, maybe even slightly lower, 5.5% ABV, I mean, that would be my jam. Because that's the kind of beer that you come home, it's early evening, usually when I come home, it's past 7, like 7:30. Go into the kitchen, I make some dinner. I like to drink a beer while I'm cooking. This would be the perfect cooking beer, not adding to your food, but like drinking while you're cooking. And every sip you go like, nah, it's nice. I like this. It's flavorful. I'm getting stuff, but nothing is, shouting at you. It's drinking beer. I think so many breweries are forgetting that beer, at the end of the day, as much as we like to talk about it, should be drinking beer. This is the kind of stuff that if I had a 4-pack of this and I had 4 friends over, I would make sure they're cold, give everybody a glass, and we'll crack one open and sit at this freaking table and we'd talk and we'd have fun and we'd chat about shit and drink this and go like, that's good fucking beer. That's what it's supposed to be, right? I'm down with it. Especially that danky note. That danky note makes it for me. Nice. Still very much looking forward to trying the other two. Those are more towards the actual double IPA range. Maybe those will be more impact. I'm not saying that this isn't impactful, but more impactful as in what a double IPA probably should be. I think that's why the IPA thing, not calling this a double IPA, despite it being 7.3% ABV, that's where the IPA actually comes in, as in it's not double, it's not that huge, bold, impressive. It is impressive, imposing. It's just very approachable and drinkable. On the other hand, I think this would work nicer if it was lower ABV. But again, that's just me. Okay, enough yapping. Factory Brewing. Thank you guys for sending this over. One more review will be coming. I'm going to review one with my buddy Douglas from Beers with Douglas. You sent him some beers as well. So, not sure whose channel that's going to be on. Not sure if that's going to be in Dutch or English. We still need to review that, but we're going to work on that. And yeah, sweet, nice, thank you. And that's it for this review. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you really liked it, you're supposed to say smash that subscribe button. If I don't forget, I'll put a link to Factory Brewing in the description box below. There will be links to all of my social media, a link to the Dutch Beer Collective, and a link to mysterybeer.nl. in the description box below. Leave some comments, and I'll see all of you guys in another review soon. Cheers.